97.3 Citi FM. Relevant radio, always.
Hello, welcome to Business Weekly with me, Vivian Kai Lokko, where we bring you top news that made headlines in the world of business for the week. Coming up in this edition, Trade Minister rejects claims that signing onto the EPA with the EU will lead to the collapse of businesses in the country, especially those in the manufacturing sector. Also, Finance Minister Seth Terkper rules out any negotiations with the IMF again if parliamentarians approve the 5% financing of government's budget deficit by the Bank of Ghana. And also coming up, some sad news where business magnate as well as the group CEO of Global Haulage has passed away. And to our very first story, and Finance Minister Seth Terkper has disclosed to Citi Business News that government is waiting for signals from its advisors on the Eurobond before it hits the international market to raise $700 million. Now, government earlier announced it intended to raise $1 billion, but revised the figure to $700 million due to anticipated high yields. Let's still stay with Finance Minister Seth Terkper because he has ruled out any moves by government to renegotiate the IMF deal if lawmakers pass the 5% Bank of Ghana financing of the government's budget deficit. Now, according to him, Ghana does not need to renegotiate the deal since government is already working to achieve it as Parliament deliberates on the practicality of the provision. Let's still stay with Finance Minister Seth Terkper because he has asked lawmakers for an extra $1.8 billion to finance the budget for 2016. In the original 2016 budget, government asked for over 50.1 billion cedis to fund expenditure, but due to challenges in accruing projected cash from oil revenue as well as the power crisis and drop in commodity prices, it made it difficult for government to meet its revenue targets. And to some other stories where the Minister of Trade and Industry, Dr Adamu, has rejected claims that Ghana signing the Economic Partnership Agreement, that is the EPA, with the European Union, the EU, will lead to the collapse of indigenous businesses, especially those in manufacturing. According to the Finance Minister, Ghanaian manufacturers will have to become competitive and raise their standards, which will allow them to also export to the EU. Now, even though government and the EU have stated categorically that the benefits of signing the EPA outweighs the negatives, the Ghana Trades Union Congress as well as civil society organizations have warned Ghana risks losing their industrial production capacity if they go ahead and sign onto the agreement. We'll keep an eye on that developing story. To some other stories where the West African Gas Pipeline Company, that is WAPCO, has rejected claims made by government that it has paid as much as $30 million to the company as part of a resettlement of a $180 million debt owed the company. Now, the reaction comes after the Minister of Petroleum, Emmanuel Amakofi-Boa, stated that government had paid about $30 million out of the reported $180 million it owes WAPCO. But WAPCO, speaking to Citi Business News, said no such payment has been made. WAPCO earlier suspended gas flow to Ghana following the debt the country owed it. Let's go to the aviation industry because the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority has introduced new charges. That means airline tickets as well as cargo charges are expected to go up by as much as $30. Now, the hikes follows the introduction of a safety charge, which will see airline tickets attract $10 extra and cargo fares $20. Now, Citi Business News has gathered the charges will affect international airlines as well as regional airlines, but not domestic airfares. And to our very final story, which is indeed a sad one, where business magnate, founder, as well as group CEO of Global Haulage Group, Haji Dr Adamu has died. He died at age 82 on Wednesday. Now, Dr. Adamu Idrisu is reputed to be one of the most successful businessmen in the history of Ghana. He was the force behind many successful businesses in the areas of agriculture, banking, transport, commodities, insurance, and real estate, among others. He is the founder of the Royal Bank, Imperial General Insurance Limited, Universal Agro Services, as well as Cocoa Merchants, Federated Commodities, Trans-Royal Limited, and Royal Commodities. Those four are prominent companies in the cocoa industry. Now, Dr. Adamu Idrisu's empire was birthed in 1964 following the formation of the Haji Adamu Transport Company. He left behind 22 children who will be taking over his tall list of businesses, having been running them under his guidance and training for the past 12 years. May his soul rest in peace. And that's it for Business Weekly for this week's edition. My name is Vivian Kai Lokko. Thank you for joining us and hope to see you again next week. Goodbye.